I was on Twitter, which is where you go for reasoned discourse these days. I was on Twitter reading the latest hot takes on the Jimmy Kimmel thing. Did you know cancel culture is it's awesome now? We love that shit. Cancel culture is awesome. We love it. We just, if someone says something that we don't like about someone who died, we just fire them. Yeah. Dude, this new world is going to be lit. See, here's what happens. Like, you say something, and then the people you say it about are giant fucking pussies. And you know what the weirdest part is? The people who are giant fucking pussies have spent like the last 15 to 20 years talking about how we all shouldn't be pussies. And what do they say we are? Not marshmallows. What's the snowflakes? Remember, everybody was a snowflake. You know, facts don't care about your feelings. Remember all the catchphrases? Isn't it? It's funny. It's a funny book I'm reading. It's a funny movie I'm watching. It's a funny passion play that's breaking out in front of me, where everybody is the opposite of what they were for the last 15 or 20 years because a guy got shot. I didn't, that's a neat trick. I didn't know that shootings, like political assassinations now, kill all consistency morally. So, like, if Benjamin Netanyahu is assassinated, I can't say anything bad about it. I can't say any joke about it. Aaron, Benjamin Netanyahu's a war criminal and he's a terrible guy, and Charlie Kirk, understood. And Charlie Kirk is 1,000,000% a better human being, was a better human being than Benjamin Netanyahu will ever be. I could not agree with you more. But I don't remember the free speech crowd going, well, you can say whatever you want unless there's a certain percentage of the population who thinks someone was a good guy. Here's the other thing. Jimmy Kimmel didn't even say anything about Charlie Kirk. That's the part that's scaring me, is that this shit is accelerating. It ain't slowing down. He said some shit that was wrong about the shooter and his political affiliations. Like, please try to calm down for a second and listen to me, because I am right on this one and society's going in the wrong direction and I'm trying to stand athwart and yell stop. So please listen, because I am right. We're not even saying if a comedian says something bad about a guy who died that you should be fired. We're saying that if a guy says something about the guy who shot the guy and what he thought about politically isn't right on the comedy show you do, and we fact check it and it's off, we can get the government involved to pressure your employer to fire you. That, and I take political blinders off and I just look at it all as a landscape, that scares the fucking shit out of me. Because, guys, they will do this to get rid of Candace Owens. They will do this to shut down. Like, if you don't think they're clamping down on Discord and Reddit and all of these things, it's coming. It's coming. They are going to clamp down on all of it. And Jimmy Kimmel is the first domino. I didn't say anything because I'm not Jimmy Kimmel. I don't like Jimmy Kimmel. They'll use it to take out Gutfeld someday, too. And just like my thing with Pretty Antisocial that I was right about when I said the toxicity would murder their blood, that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. I'm not here to argue with you on that point. I'm here to tell you I don't miss with this. It's been 10 years of me not missing with this shit. We can make jokes. We can poke fun. That's all great. I am tired of sitting here and tiptoeing and acting like I don't have this shit knocked cold. I'm tired of sitting here and pretending I haven't called this shit right on from day one every single time, like observing the media landscape isn't my specialty. They are going to use this to get rid of more people. And my spoiler, by the way, takes zoom out 10, 15 years. It doesn't happen tomorrow. It doesn't happen next week. It doesn't happen a month from now. May not even happen a year from now. They will use you know how I know that? Because this is all from the fucking Imus playbook. Everything they're doing now, it's from the Imus playbook. Just because a guy got shot and died, it doesn't change what free speech is. It doesn't change what expression is. It doesn't change what say whatever the fuck you want means. Oh, so Aaron, people can make jokes about Charlie Kirk? Yep. 100%. I wouldn't. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's a good thing, but that's where it stops with me. I ain't picking up the phone. I ain't writing somebody. I ain't writing the media. I ain't writing the job. I ain't doing any of that. I can think you're a piece of shit. That's as far as it goes with me. Because if you try to get someone fired over something that, what if you don't keep the Sabbath holy? I would say the 10 Commandments are more important than Charlie Kirk, right? If someone doesn't keep the Sabbath holy, that offends a lot of people. That's a very offensive thing, deep down to the core of who they are as a human being and their very soul. If you don't keep the Sabbath holy, it's none of my fucking business. If you don't mourn the death of Charlie Kirk, that's none of my fucking business. When people die, especially when public figures die, you can control how you react. You don't get to control or manipulate how I don't want to live in that society. I don't want to live in a world where we're manipulative. I don't want to live in a world where we're manipulating people to either think a certain way or shut the fuck up. I don't want that. Look, man, a day or two after, common decency, sure. Common decency, absolutely. I get that. The idea of decency is a good thing. But after the weekend, by this week, the life goes on. You got to let people say what they want. This Jimmy Kimmel thing, if you're someone who has been a pro-free speech person your entire life, and you and I have sat here and talked about free speech and pontificated about it until we're blue in the face, do not come to me with your ifs, ands, and buts about this Kimmel thing. You changed. All right? I don't celebrate the Kimmel firing. Does ABC have a right to do it? 1,000%. Does Sinclair and the other... Now, if you don't understand how these big networks work, it's not like ABC just, boom, puts Jimmy Kimmel on every ABC network in your market. There are other companies that own these affiliates. There are smaller broadcast companies that own Milwaukee and Minneapolis and Denver and there's these small, it's a Russian doll situation. So Sinclair and one other company that owns a big chunk of ABC affiliates decided they weren't going to air the Jimmy Kimmel show on their channel in that market. And ABC lost enough of those where they went, we're suspending Jimmy indefinitely. The syndicators are not happy. And if the syndicators aren't happy, this whole thing's going to fall apart. So he's out. And I'm sure if they try to bring him back, Sinclair will do the same thing. So Jimmy Kimmel probably fired. The term now is suspended indefinitely. He'll get a paycheck. Jimmy Kimmel's not going to be hurt financially over any of this. His career's probably just over for a while. So if that was all the further it went, fine. Sinclair owns the station. Sinclair doesn't like what Jimmy Kimmel said. They don't want to put him up. There is nothing that says Sinclair should be forced to air Jimmy Kimmel. I get that. However, the FCC commissioner weighed in and said, maybe we should take a look at ABC's license. If that ain't some fucking mafia shit, dude, I don't know what is. And look, that's coming from a conservative Republican administration's FCC commissioner. If you don't think for a minute that the next time a Barack Obama or a Joe Biden or a Gavin Newsom or someone like that gets in office, if you don't think their FCC commissioner won't play the same game, you haven't been paying attention, because they're going to. So I like to say no to this shit before it gets to that point and we go, what happened? I don't understand what happened with the whole censorship thing. How did it happen? I like to say, you know what? I would much rather a guy says some evil, disgusting, hateful shit and he's allowed to continue on and have his show. Now, if the FCC had stayed out of it, would I be singing a different tune? I think so. I'm a paranoid fuck when it comes to the FCC. I'm a paranoid fuck when it comes to the government. But also, I want to live in a certain culture. I want to live in a certain society. And having people looking over their shoulder before they tell me what they think, I don't value that. I don't like that. And I think that's what we've done. We've made teachers, professors, we've made actors, comedians. We've even made political commentators have to look over their shoulder before they tell people what they think. Do you really think we're getting this honest discourse that we've been asking for? Like, what do I want? Do I want a guy who's going to be careful about what he says after someone dies because he's worried he's going to get fired? Or do I want to know exactly where someone stands, exactly what someone thinks? If Charlie Kirk gets shot and your position is, well, rest in piss, I want to know that. I want to know that's who you are. I want to know that's where you stand so I can go, okay, I put you over here. You're in the total piece of shit camp. Versus a guy who goes, well, you know, I didn't agree with everything Charlie Kirk said. I'm a liberal guy and he was conservative and I may have, but, you know, sad he's dead. That sounds nice, but I'm always going to question whether or not you believe it. Do you believe it, or are you scared shitless you're going to lose your job? See, that's the kind of thing I thought we were fighting this whole time. It kind of sucks to find out that you've been fighting a completely different free speech battle that everyone else was. So I don't know. Let's talk to the people about that. That's who I want to talk to. I want to talk to the people. That's what I want to talk to. Lightning NC says, no, the 10 Commandments are not more important than the assassination of Charlie Kirk, actually. I think Charlie Kirk would probably disagree with you on that one. I think Charlie Kirk would say that to him, those are probably more important than his life. Rusty Grammar says, let the demons show the world who they are. Remember them, know the enemy. Is that so hard? Am I a crazy guy for believing that? Dexter Morgan says it's got nothing to do with jokes. It's the lies Kimmel tried to put out about the shooter being a MAGA conservative. Even Gino agreed, for fuck's sake. Gino and I disagree on a lot. When he was here, we disagreed about Israel and all that stuff. Friends can disagree on shit. Lies, really? Now we're going to go with lies? So every time someone lies on TV, gone. You know, Fox News told a shitload of lies during COVID. I mean, are we going to fire everybody? Told a lie about COVID? And let's talk about Jimmy Kimmel. How about the lies that were told during the Iraq War? Are we firing people for that? And by the way, you're saying he lied. What if Jimmy Kimmel fucking believes that? You know the news some of these people read? You know the bullshit stories some of these people read? They actually believe this shit. Jimmy Kimmel is not the first person I've heard say, shooter was MAGA. And they get that from his whole family was MAGA. They say, well, his family was a MAGA family, so he's a MAGA guy. I mean, he wasn't. It's clear. I mean, I'm at the point now where I don't even know if he's the shooter, but that's a different story for a different day. Lightning NC, hey, bro, when people are plotting and encouraging the death of people they don't like, we actually can use force to stop them. Jimmy Kimmel never did that. Keep this on topic. Jimmy Kimmel did not do that. MSO says, you heard him. Mossad Aaron says he doesn't want to live. Did you? Oh, no, he's saying you heard him, Mossad. I thought he was calling him me Mossad Aaron. Don't ever call me Mossad Aaron. Oh, no, now a bunch of people are going to call me Mossad Aaron. McPuster with a good point. MAGA conservative is an oxymoron. I agree. I see a lot of liberal bullshit coming from the MAGA side. They were waiting for him to fuck up, says Bapashab. 1,000%. I agree with you, Bapashab. If it wasn't this, it would be something else. The knives were out. Lightning NC says, you changed. The world changed. Yep, it did. I agree with you. You know what? Maybe I am a conservative because I want to conserve things from before. I don't want to sit there and go, well, they did it to us. You know who uses that logic? Child molesters. Well, it was done to me. I don't care. You got to go. Dexter Morgan says, how many people have you banned from your YouTube and Rumble chat rooms? Aaron, you're full of crap gaslighting it. Oh, I forgot that's the same thing. Someone writing the same shit over and over in a chat trying to be disruptive and saying, we're going to put you in timeout. That's the same thing as firing someone from a multi-million-dollar job. Wow. Hot take. Nobody's saying you can't have free speech. We're just saying you can't have free speech in town. Right, MSO? No, Dexter Morgan, no offense. I respect you, but that is a retarded take. You saying, hey, buddy, take a timeout. That's like your parents give you a timeout and you go, that's violating my First Amendment rights. I'm sorry, but if you come in to purposely disrupt a business, that business always has the right to go, take it outside. I love how Dexter Morgan thinks me going, oh, hey, you hate my fucking guts and you want me dead. Why don't you go take that somewhere? You can say that wherever you want. Why don't you just not say it over on the people are having a good time. And I know that upsets you. I'm sorry that me triggering the shit out of people to the point where they have a mental breakdown in my chat and we ask them to take it outside. I'm sorry that upsets you, Dexter Morgan. But I'm probably just gaslighting. Los Federales says they were let go by the employers, not by the right. Employers have social media and electronic communication standards. Anything that can harm the reputation of the brand is a justified termination. Yeah, I get it. I'm not saying throw ABC in jail. I'm just saying that the world I want to live in is not one where people have to be afraid to speak. That's not the world I want to live in. And I've spent my entire adult life defending comedians' missteps. You get to fuck up. That's always been my position. You're allowed to fuck up. But we don't. But if we don't like the guy, that's the part that feels so hollow and gross to me. It's that the standard has to be we like the guy who died and we don't like the guy who's talking about it. Cool. Just let me know that's where you stand and that's fine. You look, we're basically, you're talking about social credit scores. You want to go there? Let's go to social credit scores. If that's where you're at, let me know. I'm not saying you can't have that opinion. I'm just saying you and I were fighting a different battle the last 15 years. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't act like you were the crusader for ardent 100% open communication. When you say we need to have an open discussion in this country, if people are afraid for their jobs, there is no open discussion. And if you are okay with that, I'm not saying that you can't feel that way. I'm just saying if you do feel that way, you were not on my side this entire time. Imus should be allowed to say nappy-headed hoe. Was Imus got the same treatment Jimmy Kimmel did. Nobody threw him in jail. Nobody did anything like that. His company didn't want to be associated with him anymore. They fired him. I fought for Don Imus. I was on the air. I was barely on the air when Imus got fired. I stuck up for him. Do I think Kimmel should have been fired? I think ABC has the right to suspend Jimmy Kimmel indefinitely. All I'm saying is, and people have such a problem parsing this, and it's frustrating because you got to speak really slowly and you have to repeat yourself. Something doesn't feel right. You feel me? The ground under my feet shifted, and I don't like it. I thought Jimmy Kimmel was a hack. I thought Jimmy Kimmel had lost his funny bone years ago. I think Jimmy Kimmel was a fucking shithead. That's why I don't value anything he says. Enough for me to want to fire him. ABC has the right to suspend him indefinitely. Jesus fucking Christ, don't be so sensitive. All I'm saying is, does it really feel right to you? If this happened to Greg Gutfeld, would it feel right to you? And let me also say, media people, comedians, a lot of people in the aftermath of mass shootings have said a lot of shit that's wrong. They never got fired. So don't tell me this is about him lying. Don't tell me this is about him getting shit wrong. Don't tell me it's about that. Just fucking level with me. Don't be a coward. That's what I'll say today. Don't be a fucking chicken shit. At least have the courage of your convictions to say, Jimmy Kimmel's on the left. I don't like the people on the left. The Charlie Kirk thing got to me. It changed my ethics and it changed my morals. It changed my belief system, and I'm out for blood, and I want this guy's job gone, and I'm happy he is. Say that, and we can have the discussion. But do not try to act like you're on the fighting against cancel culture crowd and then come at me with that bullshit, because that's called cope. I am okay with you having the opinion that ABC can fire whoever they want. I agree with you. ABC can fire whoever they want. I'm just saying this one feels shoddy. This one doesn't feel earned. Aussie Mark says, I thought the social score was going to be implemented first here in Australia, but I guess you guys will start first. Bigot on socialist media says, will any liberal fuckheads stick up for Jimmy like Jimmy did for Colbert? Yes, they already are. I am seeing it. We do have a clip in a second. Zedman Build says, Aaron only wants to live in a certain culture. Baba Shab says, public broadcasting and network television is already cooked. Yeah, that's the other thing. It is pretty much over for those guys. Mike Go says, it is just an excuse for them to can him because TV and late night shows are dying fast. See, that's what I don't get. Then do that. At least with Colbert, CBS went, he's losing $40 million. You know? Colbert's losing $40 million. I'm sure Kimmel's losing money. Make that the reason. Rational Redhead says, agreed, and actually God's law forbids going after a person's means of making a living. See that? You guys are going to hell. You guys are all going. Rational Redhead's a very religious lady. She's been listening to this show since I was in Litchfield, and I can tell you, she says you're all going to hell, and I buy it. McBuster says Trump is on his way back from learning how to implement London's mass surveillance state on the USA. You don't think at those state dinners they ain't talking about New World Order shit? 100%. Coltrane says, what the fuck are you talking about? The left has been playing this game for decades. Right! Exactly! And they were the shithead retards. Now we're the shithead retards. I agree with you, Coltrane. The left has been playing this game for decades. Let's become like them. Then when we win, we can be the king of the totalitarian state. That's what we're fighting over. Okay, thank you for admitting it. This isn't some new fucking thing. Difference is now the other side has started playing the same game. It's been getting to this. Yes, and do you remember when we all yelled and screamed about how bullshit this was? Again, I didn't realize we were fighting a different fight. I didn't realize I was on a side all my own. I thought we said it was bullshit because it's wrong to do that to people and that it's unhealthy for open, honest discourse. I didn't know we were just doing it because they're lefties. If you would have told me that, I wouldn't have been on your side all those times. If you would have told me I'm a fucking dishonest hack, I'm only doing this because I don't like the political opinions of the people going after this person, and I like the person they're going after. If you would have told me it was conditional, I could have pushed back against both of you. But you guys never told me it was conditional until now. I feel a little lied to be honest. Coltrane says, how long does the right keep beating up and getting killed before they play the same game the left's been playing for decades? I don't like it, but here we are. All right. Then it's over. All right? That's fine. Tell me, like I said, you're not going to catch me in a loop or a web because I'm consistent. Then tell me that's the game we're playing and I can be out of it. Tell me the game we're playing is they did it to us. We thought it was wrong. Now we get to do wrong to them because we want revenge. I get it. It's a human emotion. I just thought we were playing a headier game. That's all. Lightning NC, you know what? I pushed him too far. Lightning NC says, are we going to fire everybody who lied about COVID and the Iraq war? Don't threaten me with a good time. Annoyed Wawa supervisor. See, I'm seeing that. I know who agrees with me because it's paining them. Because Annoyed Wawa supervisor says, if Gino Bisconti is your compass here, please, for fuck's sake, drive off a bridge. It's a lot easier than saying Aaron's right. Joey Caravello, God damn it, guys, stop writing Mossad Aaron in the chat, and damn you, MSO. So now you're sticking up for Kimmel. He's always mocked the right and spread hateful shit. It's fine. It's cool. Fine with it. He's mocked the right. I'm a big boy. I can be mocked. My beliefs can be mocked. The people I like can be mocked. I'm not a fucking shrinking violet. M. Pitt says him being on a local channel made the rules different for him. Not saying it's right, but nobody was crying when Gina Carano was fired. Eye for an eye. I was. See, this is why I feel betrayed by everybody. Is because they're like, nobody was crying for... I fucking was. That bothered me, what happened to Gina Carano. I didn't realize that it didn't bother any of you. I didn't realize that it was just because they were doing it to someone on a certain side. That really hurts. That really hurts. To find out that everyone else was just like, oh no, it's conditional upon what your beliefs are. So it was all bullshit. Bird Collector says, I also think he was on the way out. They just needed a reason. Bring back Carson and Dave. Oh, I've got bad news. Yeah, but okay, just use that. Use that then. Just go, he was losing us a shitload of money. Boom. Boom. People are saying, what about free speech? Blah, 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 blah. Free speech, free speech, free speech. I'm not saying this is a free speech thing. I'm saying, look at what we've all been saying the last 15 years, and does that fit this scenario? I don't think it does. Mikey Two Milk says, did you stick up for Tucker when Kimmel went on air to mock his firing? Well, no, it would be Kimmel that I would stick up for. And yeah, I railed against Tucker's firing. I thought it was bullshit, and I called it out right away. I said, Fox News is just trying to stand up for, they're trying to stand up for Zelensky, and they're trying to stand up for Netanyahu. That's what Tucker's firing was all about. And I think Hannity was getting cunty. I think he was getting bitchy. Bapa Shab says, yeah, dude, Jews killed a guy who agreed with them mostly for slightly disagreeing with their take on money. That's already fucked. Right. I just didn't know we were done pushing back. Miss Tay says he should have eaten shit for the blackface. See, and this is where I'm crazy, and I get it. This is where I like standing in the pocket and taking the bullets. I feel good when I don't let the majority, when I don't let the mob tell me what to think. I feel really good being able to stand in there and take the fire. As far as the black, I think everyone, I'm crazy. All right, I'll admit that. But I think everyone should be allowed to wear blackface. And Drewski should be able to do his hacky whiteface bit. Everybody should be able to darken their skin to try to be funny. Everyone should be allowed to say racially insensitive things to try to be funny. So, yes, I actually have Jimmy's back for doing the Karl Malone blackface thing. But you know what? Jimmy Kimmel would never get my back, and that doesn't matter. I don't fucking care. Rational Redhead says Rational Redhead said the slippery slope is very real. None of this doesn't feel right. Right, exactly. We're gonna get off this subject in a little bit. But there's so many people writing in on it, and I want to get their opinions, and there's a bunch of super chats and all that, and Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo. My phone's been buzzing like crazy, so continue throwing those in. We'll get to it. I promise yous. Veldrain with $1 says, why be surprised when one side of the coin does something the other side has done? Because I thought, look, I get it. I'm an idiot. I'm stupid. I thought one of the sides would be genuine. I know. You guys are laughing. I know. I get it. I know. McBuster says, can't afford to heat the place, ain't got no space, and you better have fun in the new Australia. Tim Finman says, Uniparty, both controlled by the same demons. I agree. Miss Tay says they just used Charlie's death as an excuse to can that bitch. It makes them look good. Yeah, I mean, Charlie Kirk, it went from when he died, hey, let's figure out how to fix this country, fix this discourse, be a country that Charlie would be proud of. I mean, there were the war cries for a little bit. I get that emotional reaction. I had it too. But then it went to something beautiful. It was, let's change the discourse in this country. This is it. And then it just, the lazy Susan just did a 180, and then the right went, fire everybody who doesn't like Charlie. No. You're allowed to not like Charlie, but you can't say shitty things about him when he died. I got news for you. I'm a people get to say whatever they want guy. You can be, I think it's shitty to be happy that someone died, but I can't make you feel bad that somebody got shot. I can't make you feel that way. Mikey Two Milk says Jimmy Kimmel was not open and honest discourse. He openly lied about all of us every time he stepped in front of a camera. I got news for you. So did Peter Jennings. So did Tom Brokaw. So did all of these. So did all of the people who've been force feeding you the news all these years. They all lied to you. Hobo Chili says, last year Aaron stole his kid's candy and blamed it on Gordy. This has nothing to do with any of this. Stop calling me Mossad Aaron. That is not my name. Hagana Aaron is not my name either. I think that's actually Japanese. BB Imholt? No. Hobo, I would have thought you would call me Ida BB Imholt. Annoyed Wawa Supervisor says Aaron can eat 6 hoagies in one sitting. I cannot do that. I would be carbo loaded. I would be too full of bread. I stopped watching The Mandalorian, says McBuster. Then Disney went full woke with Star Wars. All the Star Wars nerds voted Republican this time. Oh, God, if you have to go for the Star Wars guy, vote. Grand Poobah with $2 says maybe these firings are egregious, but you said it yourself. We do lose our principles or allow the left to strangle us with them. Either way, it feels like a shit deal. It's a good point. Maybe it's over. And this is it. And now we have to, now we get to decide how we rot. Coltrane with $1 says maybe this is ABC's free off-ramp for them. Blame it on Kirk's death comments to keep the right on their side. And the left think it's censorship to keep the left on their side. For them, it's a win-win. Ooh. That's a brilliant fucking take. I don't hate that one. Oh, and also, I know this is going to hurt a lot. Donald Trump's lied a lot. Donald Trump said a lot of shit that just plain ain't true. Professor Tie-Dye with $1 says, oh, good. I tuned into Aaron Imholtwitz pulling his Jew double bluff to get us to accept Mossad's PSYOP talking points. Pocket mashed potatoes would be so kosher, so this all checks out. This doesn't have anything to do with Jews, the Mossad, or mashed potatoes in anybody's pants. All right, we got to all these. Thank you guys very much.